What's up, more brats? It's Spiritual Guardian, and welcome to this new amazing series of Dragon Ball What Ifs. My man, seriously, those are my popular what ifs. I'm gonna make a new what if. That is a marriage, etc. Since my the topmost video is what if and Goku married Android 18, which I'm gonna be bringing back soon. Don't worry about it. But anyways, as I said, my most viewed what if is what if Goku married Android 18. So what if, Goku did not marry Android 18, or Goku didn't marry at all. So that's the what if of this topic. What if Goku did not marry Chi Chi? How the hell would this affect the entire Dragon Ball series as a whole, except for Gohan not being born, which is obvious. How I'm gonna take it out, you're gonna see. So without any further ado, let's get watching. So the story would start off with, the 20-second thing, Kaichi Budokai, where Chichi proposes to Goku. Now here, Goku normally I would accept, because he did not know what the hell marriage is and he didn't want to accept Chi-Chi, and later on he would fall in love with Chi-Chi and they would have a happy family together, Gohan coming in, blah blah blah, those kind of situations. But I don't think it's in Goku's character, Goku is just straightforward, if he does not want something, he does not want it. I mean, come on, the guy was literally seduced by Bulma with panties, and Goku does not want it. Why the hell do you think Goku's gonna marry Chi Chi? I always found that unethnic, but the filler did make up for it. The filler where Goku goes to hell and he meets Grandpa Gohan, that filler did make me calm down a bit. But anyways, I'm blabbing a lot. As I said, Goku would not marry. So when Chi-Chi would propose to Goku, he would say that he's not interested in marrying, which would sadden Chi-Chi, because Goku did promise her, and Goku would explain that, he thought marriage was food, but he would still be adamant about his choice, and that is to not marry, because he does not have interest in marrying. He was just explaining to her simply, he does not have interest in marrying. He just wants to get strong, and in his viewpoint, marriage is just a burden. I mean, he doesn't just tell it that marriage is a fucking burden. He does not want to face the wraths of a married woman and saviors of married men, if you get what I mean. But anyways, Goku just says that, he does not want to marry, which Chi-Chi has to reluctantly accept, because Goku has also a choice in this. She can't just force him to marry him. How much she wants to say, she's not stronger than Goku. She can't beat the shit out of Goku to marrying him, because Goku just one shot her into just sending him away. This would change things. That would still lead to Goku versus Piccolo fight, where Goku would win. After that, Goku won't just fly off with Chi-Chi to marriage or some shit. Goku would go back to Kami's lookout, where he would train for the next 5 years, because that's the shit that he likes, training. Now this is going to change two things, one negative and one positive. The negative is Gohan isn't born, and before you start jumping at me that Chi-Chi is only used for making babies, that's not my point. My point is that since Goku does not marry Chi-Chi, they don't make love, which doesn't result in their baby boy named Gohan, Son Gohan, the fucking badass, being born. That's the baddest thing that anyone could ever hope for. I mean, for Dragon Ball fans at least, until you see the future episode. Anyways, the good news about the entirety of Goku not marrying Chi-Chi is that he gets to train. In the canon storyline, Goku did not get to train for 5 years because he had to raise Gohan, meaning he does not have the burden to raise Gohan. And before married man start jumping at me saying kid is not your children not burden to raise. Don't ask me, I'm still a fucking teenager. I'm an adult, yes, I just became an adult. I'm like 18 years old, but still I'm a fucking teenager. I don't know how the hell babies are raised. You guys are experts in for that. I salute you guys. Anyways, Goku gets to train I like a lot, and I think he would still go to the time chamber and end up with the remaining time. I think Goku went for a few months in the time chamber, and he would still get ahead of that, and it would make good. It would make Goku's power level increase by a lot. And while the 5 years are up, the reunion with the entire Dragon Z fighters would happen with Yamcha and Tien and Chaozu and Launch and except for Bulma, Roshi, and Krillin, nobody's there. But Goku is there. Goku comes. Goku comes. He still does attend the reunion. I mean, come on. These are people he spent his childhood with. Why the hell he's not gonna come? See, it's not that. I mean, he's still mad at training, but still, anyways. Uh, which would mean Raditz and Goku would encounter each other. And here's the thing, Raditz would not kidnap Gohan. So Gohan, there's no Gohan to begin with. Krillin would still get slapped around with the tail. But when Goku would step up to fight free Raditz, he would get a beating. Yes, I mean you can't expect Goku to just suddenly be, I don't know, Super Saiyan level or some bullshit. Goku's still not as much as powerful as he would have been. I mean, he's before the Saiyan Saga. I mean, he's still weaker than the Saiyan Saga Goku that we know. And now, since it's Raditz arc, Goku, I'm not going to explain Goku's power level right now. I'm going to explain what his power level is. Anyway, Goku would still get his ass handed to him, but it would be a much different battle. Instead of just getting one-shotted, he would fight with Raditz. He would fight with Raditz and then get knocked out. Now, Raditz would give him an ultimatum. Either you come with him, or either you will kill everybody and come with him, or he would destroy the world in 24 hours. And Raditz would fly away and wait in a spot. Now Piccolo would still come in and offer his help to Goku, and Goku would still, being there, good in nature heart he is, would still accept it. He would take the flying Nimbus and would sever through the land to the Farmer's Island, where their Piccolo and Goku would remove their weights to the power level. Now, yes, another thing that you guys might have not noticed is that Piccolo trains even more than in canon. Because Piccolo, you might have think, oh, Piccolo doesn't train so much during the time skip, but not this. It's like, let me explain this shit to you. Piccolo knows that Goku married, and he might have had a suspicion that Goku might have trained, so he would play catch up. Okay, he would want to play catch up. That would mean that's why Piccolo's power level would be 406, while Canon Goku would be 415. But here, Piccolo has to reach Goku's growing power level, because since Goku is not marrying anybody, he still is free to train, meaning Goku does train, and Piccolo has to train even more to reach Goku's power level. Now Piccolo's power level would be at 495, which would be an increase since canon. Anyways, as I said, Piccolo's power level would be 495. Now Goku's, without weights that is, would be at a power level of 720. Now you might be saying, what the hell? But it would make sense since Goku has an extra 5 years to train intensely. He even went to the time chamber to have a few more extra months, but I don't think Goku is gonna completely finish that entire year, because the only reason that he was able to do so was because his power levels was over 10 million in his base form. Let's even say over a million, and here Goku is not even 1,000. So Goku would still won't be able to finish that 1 year of training, meaning Goku base power level would be at 720, while Piccolo's base power level be at 495, and with Raditz's power level being at what was Raditz's power level? Raditz's power level was at 1,500 with 1,600, like that. Said that range. Anyways, as I said, now the both of them would fight with a larger power difference than each other, which would make Goku the frontal attacker, while Piccolo would be the supporter. Eventually, it would just happen unconsciously, and Goku would deal a lot more damage than Canon, as well as Piccolo would deal a lot more damage, even though the special beam cannon would still miss. which uh, would still miss, the second would still hit. Meaning, and since there's no Goku would still hold on to Raditz tail, and Raditz would like beg Goku to leave him, and Goku would still do in act of naivety, which would make Raditz take the opportunity to beat the shit out of Goku. But here's where that something would change. The extra power levels that Goku would have rather than a cannon would help here. Instead of just being laid out in the front of the ground, he would move from the attack, and he still has to use his body to hold Raditz down for the second special beam cannon from Piccolo to kill both Raditz and Goku off. But Raditz would still warn Goku and Raditz would still warn Goku and Piccolo about the Saiyans, meaning would have a 1 year training arc. People, now this is where things would change like a lot. Now, since Piccolo does not have Gohan to train with, this would change a little bit. Piccolo would not. I mean, yeah. Anyways, Piccolo would in this 1 year would train a lot more, and his power level would reach around 4,000. That the humans would still be at the power level with no Gohan there actually. So I guess you could say that it was a benefit and good and bad thing, but I'm not blabbering a lot. But anyways, now Goku here is much different. As I said, he's now let's go to Goku's area of expertise now. Since I've like covered the Z fighters other than Goku. Vegeta and Nappa's power level would still be the same. That's not going to change anywhere. But anyways, Goku would reach King Kai's planet a lot faster. Instead of like 6 months to take, I would say it would take around 5.5 or 5 months, 5 to 5.5 months. Meaning Goku would have an extra 6.5 or 7 months, which would really make a humongous difference. And since Goku's base form is more stronger, his training would be more effective with the gravity, that is, and his base form would be even stronger. Now, I'm gonna tell you what Goku's power level would be after the entire situation, and you're gonna be actually surprised. So, anyways, let's talk about the Saiyans. The Saiyans still land on planet Earth way before they were supposed to, like a month before, if I remember correctly, and they still destroy a city, which leads to the Z fighters bringing them to wherever they are, and which is good, seriously good, which is good for the Z fighters, kind of, as I say. The Z fighters would be massacred easily by Nappa. Still, but since Gohan is not there, and since Gohan does not really do anything the entire fucking fight, no offense to Gohan fans, but Gohan really didn't do anything until he blasted Masenko after Piccolo was dead. And since Piccolo here isn't redeemed, he's just fighting for himself and to protect the planet that he's gonna eventually conquer. Yes, yes, you heard me, people. Eventually conquer. He would not get, and I don't think Nappa would even have a chance to deal with them. Since, as I said, Piccolo's power level would be 4,000, and Nappa's power level would be around, if I remember correctly, Nappa's power level was also around 4,000. So, Piccolo versus Nappa would be a really equal fight, not the difference that it was. And with Krillin, Tenshinhan, Yamcha, and Chaozu being in support mostly, except for Krillin, who's throwing destructors here and there, and Krillin doing tri beams, and Yamcha doing a spirit ball. No one dies. Good for the Z fighters, and that does not mean that Gohan is like the bad the bad guy who kills people or something. But it makes sense because the power levels, which are the same for humans, with Piccolo being more stronger than canon, would make humongous differences because power levels are still a thing here. So that's that. But anyways, as I was saying, Gogo would still arrive late. I mean, Goku would not arrive late actually, because since his power level would be way higher than what it was, he would arrive way faster. Meaning he would stop whatever Nappa was going to do and no one would be killed. Good to them, I guess. Goku's suppressed power level would be around 9,000. That's suppressed. Let me make this clear. Suppressed. Okay? This is suppressed. Now, when Goku shows off his base full power, it would be around 12,000. Okay? No, this is as I said, with Goku being a much higher power level, it would mean Goku would have a much higher base power level and would have a much better control in a certain technique. Now, Goku would still completely obliterate Nappa. I mean, not in the verse of killing him, but basically embarrassing him and breaking his back and stuff. Vegeta would kill Nappa and Goku versus Vegeta would happen, but here's this where the things would be different. When Goku would use Goku with the power of 12,000 is relative to, not relative, like completely equal to him, but the fight would be a little more better in base form Goku and base form Vegeta, that is. But still, Goku would get his ass whooped. But Vegeta would have to put a lot more effort than in canon. And when Goku just goes Kaioken times 2, by God, does it go off. Seriously. Kaioken times 2 brings Goku's power level to 24,000, which is above Vegeta's power level of 18,000. Yeah, Vegeta's power level is 18,000, meaning Goku with Kaioken times 2 would be able to defeat once again Goku with Kaioken times 2 only would be able to defeat Vegeta when the final clash happens. Meaning Vegeta has to way more weakened than in canon, and then he still uses the Ozaru form. This would still change the shit. It still would change because Vegeta Ozaru bigger, but since Vegeta is more weaker than in canon because he was completely obliterated by Kaioken times 2 Goku, and since Goku is 24,000 instead of the 17,000 that he was, 16,000, sorry. 16,000 that he would be literally, Vegeta would be way weaker. Instead of 180,000, it would be more or less 120,000. But still, Goku, even though he can use Kaioken times 3, which would bring his power level to 36,000, it would be still no match for Vegeta's 130,000. Even if his power level is reduced by a humongous margin. Meaning, here is something that's gonna change a lot. Number one is that Gohan isn't there to distract Vegeta. Meaning, Piccolo has to go big to distract Vegeta. And this works for a second. Vegeta punches Piccolo so hard that it sends him across the fucking terrain. But he makes distraction because a slice of air cuts through, cutting Vegeta's tails by Destructo Disc shot by Krillin. Now let's rewind a bit. Now when Vegeta went Ozaru, this would make news for even Piccolo because Piccolo didn't know that Saiyans could go Great Apes because he does not have experience of them, I guess. But anyways, as I was saying, Piccolo would have to commune with the Z fighters, and since kind of Piccolo has been fighting for them, even if Piccolo has different motivations, they would still decide to help, like tag team together, and yeah, this would change things pretty differently. As I said, that they would have a teamwork and it would make good sense. When Vegeta would fall, he would he would realize that he has lost. He has realized that he's lost and he needs to do something. And that is to kill somebody as well. Because his pride would not allow him to just leave them alone. So when Goku lets him go, Vegeta charges all his ki on one attack and fires it just before raising in a ship and flying off. That hits Piccolo, who just recovered from the punch that Vegeta hit him with. Unfortunately, Piccolo was at the wrong place at the wrong time and he gets pierced and died. Means Kami would also die. I know this might sound anticlimactic, but Vegeta's pride Vegeta would, I mean, this Vegeta, that is the Saint Saga Vegeta, would do anything to you have victory. I mean, come on, the guy was gonna blow up the fucking planet just because his pride couldn't handle being uh, matched by a low class Saiyan. So really, you won't think that Vegeta would use underhanded tactics to kill one of them, the poor Piccolo, but he's dead. So it like completely freak out many of them. And Gogo would be a little sad that Piccolo's dead, and stuff. And this would also make them vulnerable because they don't have the Dragon Balls to like revive people. And Krillin would still bring up the Dragon Ball and Namek situation, and Bulma would still make up the goddamn shit. But Goku would ask for you could say gravity chamber, and since Goku's not injured as he was in canon, I mean, not completely broken to pieces, that is, he still is injured because of the great ape Ozaru, the Ozaru form Vegeta. So well, Goku is still injured. So anyways, Goku and the Z fighters would board the ship. I mean, Goku would still is injured, whether you like it or not. Even though Goku is more stronger, he would still get manhandled by Great Ape Vegeta. Meaning Goku would still have to do his trip alone. But Krillin does not go alone this time. He goes with Chaozu, Tien, and even Yamcha. Now this would kind of make them awkward. This kind of make Bulma awkward and stuff. But Tien would decide for Yamcha to just stay on Earth because number one, he does not want an awkward right ship. Like seriously, they're gonna try and save the Dragon Balls, And number two, see, he does not want to deal with failed relationship problems. So Yamcha was grateful for Tien, would stay on Earth to protect it, I would say. While the Z fighters, yeah, minus Goku, would leave the planet Namek. I'm sorry. I just mixed Yadrat and Namek together. But there are some things that I'm gonna explain. Which are not in the canon storyline. Goku's is conflicted. While he's staying in the hospital, he's conflicted. Since there's nobody except for Yamcha to give him company, he has time to think. Think about his fucking situation. A year before, nothing happened. No, seriously, the guy was just training on Kami's lookout. Now, then he figured out that he was a fucking sane, an alien from another planet. He has a different name, that being Kakarot. And his the same Namekian who helped save the planet is now dead because he decided to leave Vegeta. Because he wanted to have a challenge. Go is like seriously conflicted right now. He does not know what the hell he should do. And see, and this the name Kakarot, that's conflicting him. Now in the canon, Goku did not have this confliction because he had family here. Okay, you have to understand Goku's mentality right now. Okay, Goku had family. He made a fucking family here. Yes, he has friends, but he does not have a family. Okay, you can, yeah, he can make sure that he can like give his father figure to Master Roshi or Grandpa Gohan, but it still does not take away Goku's you could say father figure. Goku does not have a father figure if you think about it. But anyways, Goku is conflicted. He's conflicted. He does not know what the hell he should do. And the name Kakarot, it's like something that he wants to accept but does not want to accept at the same time. Because he's conflicted. He does not know what he is. Is he human? Is he sane? Is he what? He does not know what it is, and that's conflicting him. It's like a mental blockage or something. And it's gonna be fixed, don't worry. Anyways, Goku still gets treated, and Mr. Breeze gives him the ship, which he readily goes to Namek, and then he does gravity training. And since he does gravity training, this is gonna improve his base strength humongously. Remember, gravity training for 6 days. Gravity training gives Goku about a 9% 9 multiplier increase. Meaning Goku, whose current power level is at 15,000, let's just say. If you add current Goku's power level base form just before he leaves to wherever he goes, before he leaves to Namek, his base power is 14,000 with Kaioken adding on top of it, going further and further. But now, after the travel tip to 6 days to Namek, he gets a more power increase. And Goku's current power level is 135,000, which is like a really lot. And that's not even adding Kaioken on top of it. But as I said, now I'm gonna explain what happened to the Z fighters who went before Goku before we start with this. Now the Z fighters would still land on Namek, where the Frieza Force would still capture the entire area, and the whole situation with Dende would still happen. Even though there isn't Gohan, there's still Krillin and Tien who would still protect Dende, and Mori, the elder, would still destroy Frieza's was scout ships. I forgot what it's called. Scouters, yeah, scouters, and which would cause Frieza to bring out the Ginyu Force while Krillin and Tien would run off with Dende in hand. Dende would bring them to Elder Guru, where Elder Guru would read their mind, give them the Dragon Ball, and unlock their potential. Now, the reason why they are here is not to protect their friend. They want to protect someone who helped them. And since Guru realizes that they want to protect someone of his own species, he does give them the Dragon Ball because their intentions are still pure, even though their intentions are to protect themselves to the access of the Dragon Balls and stuff. After that, the potential unlocked would lead them to fight nobody until the Ginyu Force comes, and Vegeta still comes to the planet with even more better, meaning his power level would be even more. Since the canon Vegeta was beaten up, yes, but his power level, which was to 24,000, is higher. Now, as I'm gonna say, Vegeta's current power level is more higher, you could say. While Gohan's base, Krillin and Tien would destroy most of the Frieza Force soldiers, and eventually they would meet to Ginyu. Now, here's the situation, entire situation. Since Gohan isn't there to fight, Tien takes his place. Tien still fights Guldo and Raccoon. That still happens. And Krillin fights whoever he does. That still goes out. And Goku does arrive. Just as the Ginyu Force almost kill Krillin. Goku's power level, which is 135,000, is way, like seriously, way, literally, completely obliterated. Guy completely destroys Raccoon, Ginyu, Jason Burton, everybody. Like nobody stand a chance. Even if, suppose that if there, Goku does not need to use Kaioken like at all. His base power, which is even stronger than Captain Ginyu's 120,000, is easily overpowering him. And even if you could say that Goku still gets stabbed by Ginyu's body changing technique, Vegeta would still beat the shit out of Goku, because even if Vegeta's power level is 24,000 and Goku's supposed power level was 23,000 in the canon storyline, here Goku's output, or Ginyu Goku, you could say Goku Ginyu Goku, whatever you want to say, Ginyu Goku's output power level would be around 25,000, while Vegeta's base power level is 26,000. It would still mean Vegeta would beat the shit out of Goku, and Goku would be sent to the nursing pod where he would be healed. Now here's a situation where it turns. Krillin and Tien would still take the Dragon Balls, as well as Chaozu, if you still are interested in him, I guess. And yeah, according to I'm just gonna say Chaozu also gets his potential unlocked, meaning his magic would be even more, and he would help fight against Guldo, like magic, because you could say Chaozu can use telekinesis, while Guldo can use time manipulation. Like we had a short people battle. If you are interested in that, I guess you can have that. Anyways, as I was saying, Frieza would still come in, and interestingly, it still does not. goes very differently. Like, seriously, very differently. Now, Vegeta would still fight. Vegeta would still fight. I mean, post Rakum, he would still get the Zenkai, which would make him which would help him fight first from Frieza, and since the wish is made to bring Piccolo to revive Piccolo and bring him to Namek, meaning him and Neo would still merge, and that would have him, you could say, have the potential unlocked, I guess. Because Piccolo would still fight for a second form Frieza, and the third form, I don't think the third form was shown, but anyway, the final form would still be active, and that all jazz would happen until Goku would arrive. Goku's pissed off. Goku is now. Let me explain how Goku's power level is. Now in the canon storyline, Goku's power level was for around 90,000, and base power level, and he got a Zenkai of, well, up to 3 million. So according to the max, you could say he got a power boost of, so yeah, according to the max done, there are about Goku got more power. Goku on 33 times more powerful. Now, if we do the same max, the Goku's current base power would be 4,455,000, which is still a lot, but still the entire fight would remain still the same. Goku going Super Saiyan, and still Krillin still dying, Goku going Super Saiyan, that would still happen. Vegeta would still die. That would happen, but the Kaioken, which Goku can output around, I think he was able to output around 20%, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was able to do 20,000, which would bring his power level to around 89,000, which is a humongous amount, and Frieza has to go to his full 100%. Okay, Frieza has to go 100%, but still, even though the Spirit Bomb technique is still used, except for Gohan, it's Tien and Chaozu. If you still care about him, I guess. The Spirit Bomb is still used, and the Spirit Bomb is still thrown at Frieza. Frieza would have to use his full power to reflect the aka Spirit Bomb. This would mean that, Frieza would still survive, but with a humongous amount of damage done to him. But he would still kill Krillin. This is where things get shittier, okay? This is where things get shittier. Now, Goku would still achieve Super Saiyan, but the power level would be humongously higher than what it was in canon. And since Goku's base form is way high, this Goku's base form is way higher. The current Goku's base form is, it would be 222 million, which would be seriously higher than what it was. Like, previously it was 180 in canon storyline. Now it is, previously it was 150 in the canon storyline. Now it is 222 million. And this is where Goku kind of realizes shit. He realizes this is the Super Saiyan, and this also gives him an epiphany. The confliction that he had inside his brain, that who was he? Was he Goku, Saiyan raised on Earth? Was he Kakarot, a Saiyan born on planet Vegeta? What is he? Now that he has turned Super Saiyan, he finally gets the answer. He is Son Goku, the Saiyan raised on Earth. But he is Kakarot, the Saiyan born on planet Vegeta. He's not one or the other. He's both. He would tell to Frieza, I am Son Goku, and only my friends call me that. But you, who's my enemy? My name is Kakarot. And the power would explode, and, well, Goku would let his Saiyan side out. The battle between Goku and Frieza would be immense. Even though final form Frieza would be 120,000 with the reduction power still happening, Frieza ain't doing shit. He doing nothing. He can't do anything. He can't do shit. I would go as far as to say Goku would kill Frieza. No, nothing's gonna stop him. Goku is gonna fucking kill Frieza. Nothing's gonna stop him there. Remember, Goku has just let his Saiyan side out. He's just accepted his fucking Saiyan side. How he's gonna prove that? By killing the person who eradicated the Saiyan race. I mean, Goku's not gonna especially prove that to himself, no, but it's ironic, you know. Goku accepts that he's he's a Saiyan by killing Frieza, the person who eradicated all Saiyans. And yeah, Goku would still get to find a spaceship. I mean, the planet would still try to would almost get exploded. That would still happen. The Namekians and the Namekians, whatever you call them, whatever you want to call them, and all the Z fighters, including Vegeta, would be transported into Earth. And Goku would find a spaceship, a new spaceship, and would go to Yardrak where he would train for 1.5 years. Well, for 2 years actually, not 1.5, 2 years, since he does not have a family to come back to. He would train for 2 years. This would mean humongously different. Goku would still learn the instant transmission though, but he would learn more techniques. 3 techniques, in fact. 3 important techniques that would make him grow. Number one is instant transmission. Number 2 is forced spirit fission. He would understand the technique and he would really like it, because come on, who the hell doesn't want to suck the goddamn punches out? Okay, that's weird. Anyways, third is healing, which would be really useful because he knows about the Zenkai ability from Vegeta and he can kind of exploit it. And number 4 is cloning, which is really good because basically Goku clones himself with the same power level which he can train. Basically, Goku has a fucking perfect training partner, which is himself. Now, due to all this extra years, Goku would be able to use grade 2 and grade 3, but not only that, but he would have figured out how to use grade 4 and he would use it. Now, you might be thinking, how the hell could Goku use grade 4 even if he couldn't use it during the 3 years he was spent in Earth before the Android saga? Here's the question. Goku is training. That's what he does. He isn't being a family man, or he isn't, well, making sure Gohan and Piccolo are up to his standard. You know, he isn't holding himself back. You know, because Goku can just go Super Saiyan and beat the shit out of both of them. But here, Goku doesn't need to hold back. He's a fucking perfect training partner who knows all his skills, who knows everything that he knows, who's like the perfect opponent to himself. Who's the perfect opponent to himself. Meaning, Goku would pretty much have achieved Super Saiyan grade 4, but he would say, and these extra months would help King Cole track Earth to figure out what the hell happened to his son, and he would still come there. And Goku would sense an energy, and Goku, when he would teleport to Earth to find Trunks. But this is a very different Trunks. And I'm gonna explain how the hell the future timeline would affect with Goku not being married and Gohan not being present, and how this Trunks, this new future Trunks, is gonna be different from it. So that's all for this episode, guys. And I'm really excited to do the next part of this water because I'm gonna be diverging from canon a lot in the next part. But anyways, that's all for this episode, guys. If you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe, do the necessary stuff. And if you don't, I can understand. Peace out.